Hey friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead. Look at my hair. Get a good look at it because that's as good as it gets. Fresh out of the shower and brushed. Oh, now I've made a mess of it. How's that? There we go. Anyway, it is the beginning of the May long weekend here in Canada. And it's going to be really busy. As I sit here, I'm planning, I have to phone and rent the rototiller. We have some vertical gardens I have got to get to work on that it's hard, folks. You know, I can do it, except that there's little things like I can't find Papa's drill. And even if I knew where the drill was, I wouldn't know where the bit was. And I need those to work on my vertical gardens. And I've been asking him for a week, can you find me a drill bit, please? Like, can you find me a 1/2-inch drill bit and the drill? Yep, I'll put it on the list. Well, I got to plant soon, and my vertical garden isn't built yet. So hopefully, I know, guys, he works so hard. The man never stops. The best that I can make him do is about 3 times a week when he comes home from work, as I can say, you know, I'll say, we're not doing anything tonight. And he'll, you know, I'll run him a bath or he'll have a shower and I'll give him dinner and his blanket and pillow goes on the couch and I'll get him to watch some TV and play with Gracie. But that's as close as I get to making him take some time off. So if you, all my Facebook friends, if you see pictures of Papa snuggling on the couch, most all of you know, like, you know, he gets embarrassed when I post those pictures because he thinks people are going to think that that's what all he does. And come on, we know better than that, don't we? The guy's a machine. So anyway, this weekend I have to rent the rototiller so we can get the back garden ready, because remember, it laid fallow last year while while Howie and my son and whatever built the addition. Pretty much Howie built it, but my son Arthur did come up and help for a week, and that was really, really helpful. That was when you saw him help me plant the pear trees and stuff. The black flies are bad, but I'm not, you know, I've got a couple of bites, because I tried to do this coffee chat like my brother John out on the deck where the fresh air and the breeze is blowing, but the black flies drove me in the house. But I'm not going to complain, because I used to live in this little town called Apsley, Ontario. And it has the worst, it and Bancroft, Ontario, the worst black flies I have ever seen. I mean, my sister-in-law had lived in the Yukon at one point, and she said they were nowhere near as bad as they were in Apsley in the Bancroft area. I remember, I remember when we built our house in 1976. In Apsley, and I was 12 at the time, and my father and my brothers were clearing the brush so that the bulldozers could come in and pull the stumps and get the foundation in. And my dad would wear a turtleneck up to here, and these were not cotton, okay? They were like polyester wool kind of thing. And he would cut a hole in the sleeves so he could put his thumbs through, pull the sleeves up, put his thumbs through, and then he would wear gloves. And he would tuck his pants inside his socks and then put his work boots on. And he would wear one of those beekeeper's hats down over the turtleneck. And I'm telling you, when he came back to my aunts and uncles to sleep after working in those black flies all day, even as clad as he was, all around, anywhere they would get up under the seams and down into his turtleneck, and he was just bitten raw. I mean, you could not work, ask anybody who lives in that small town, you could not put a garden in without beekeeping protective gear, because you'd breathe them in. They're just so thick. I've never seen anything like it. So I thought, well, I'm tough. I'm from Apsley. I can sit outside and, you know, all of a sudden I've got a cloud of them around me. And although I could breathe, it sure as hell wasn't comfortable. So that's, you know, that's going to be fun putting a garden in this weekend. Mind you, if the sun comes out really hot or if we get a cold snap at night, that does a lot. But there's a reason why I have a dragonfly tattooed on my leg. And it's on my leg because every year when we see the first dragonfly, we do what my dad used to do, which is we call it the dragonfly dance. Right? You know why? Because dragonflies eat black flies and mosquitoes. So when we see the dragonflies, we do a dance. We literally do a dance. But that's back in the days when we lived in Apsley. So, and my father's long past, God rest his soul. He's been gone 15 years. And you know what? I still feel him. It's, you know, I still feel like I could pick up the phone. You know, as a matter of fact, I have a card in my wallet that he gave me back a long time ago when we were struggling, really struggling in the beginning of our marriage with two small children. And he gave me a phone card that said, call me. And it had his name on it and his phone number. And that card allowed me to call him, because we were long distance, allowed me to call him whenever I felt like it. And it didn't bill my phone, it billed his. And you know, I still carry that card. I still carry it like I could pick it up and call my dad. And it's kind of like, I don't know. Weird, eh? Am I weird? Anyway, a lot of people commented on my pink sandals that I was wearing in my delivery video when I planted my grapevine. I got those. They are, well, I'm wearing them, so I'll show them to you. I got these for $7 at Giant Tiger. And I love them. Absolutely love them. I used to wear flip-flops. And the problem with flip-flops is when you're heavy like I am, your feet press down on those little knobs that go through the sole that hold the top of the thing to it. There's that. And because they are flip-flops, they don't actually sit tight to your foot in any way, shape, or form. And when, me personally, I could trip over a dime. If it was glued to the floor, I would trip over it. I'm not kidding. I saw a dime stuck somewhere once, and I did trip over it. It's like the edge of the flip-flop would catch on like a board that might be, you know, a millimeter higher than the other board on the deck or something. And because the flip-flop doesn't stick to my foot, it would pull sideways, and I would actually tip over. So I can't wear flip-flops anymore. But I saw these, and these, I had to take it off again. I don't know if you can see this, but these actually cup your foot. They have a nice arch thing here, and there's this little thing that, oh, there it is, that cups your toes. The whole thing, I don't even know where it's made, probably in China. But the whole thing cups my foot so that it feels like, well, it doesn't feel like I'm wearing a shoe. It's like I'm wearing a shoe with the freedom of a sandal. They're just really, really comfortable, and they were only $7. For all my Canadian friends, I got them at Giant Tiger, and they come in a range of colors. I'm probably going to go back and get a turquoise pair to match my other clothing. So that's that. Anyway, there's a lot going on this weekend, and Briar got some kind of chemical burn at work, and we don't know if it's a chemical burn. I honestly am pretty sure he got burnt with oven cleaner, and he's a dishwasher, and he came home last week or the week before with a rash on his forearm, on his right forearm. And it didn't look great. So he works 4 days on, 3 days off. And he was off for 3 days and the rash cleared up, so we didn't think anything of it. But then he went to work again, and he came home on Friday night after working 14 hours. And it was a patch like this big. It was like this big, and it was all bubbly and blistered. And so I went, you know what? I just rinsed it and I put some antibiotic cream on it. And the next day before going into work, we went early and we went into the pharmacy. Now, my son doesn't have a health card, and our health card in Canada is what you show when you go to the doctors. Or it's kind of like an insurance card, but it's free. It's not free, folks. I'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, without the health card, you have to pay. And the health card is available to everybody in every province. You just have to apply for it. But when Briar lived in Ontario, he lost his wallet with his Ontario health card. So transferring provinces can't be done. Now that he lives in Quebec, he has to reapply for the whole new health card. So we're doing that on Monday. But so I couldn't take him to the hospital. And so I could have. It probably would have cost us about $200. But anyway, I took him to the pharmacy and asked them what we could do about it and whatnot. Like, should we put a specific cream on it and wrap it in gauze? I wasn't going to trust my own instincts on this point because it was blistering burns. Like, and they were getting infected. Like, you could see the bubbles of the liquid was not clear, like a clear blister. Anyway, pharmacy said, go to the hospital. That's nasty. Go to the hospital. And so we bought some polysporin cream, and I took him to work, and he went into work and said, guys, whatever this is, the truth is, I can't go to the hospital because I don't have a health card yet. And if I wrap this up and put gloves on to do dishes, I think it's going to get worse. So I'm going to have to take today and tomorrow off, which he did. And he hated to do that because it's his living, it's his money. And nothing, it took him a long enough time to get the job. He doesn't want to lose it, right? But anyway, we came home and it seems to be a whole lot better. He spent a couple of days and we rinsed it and then creamed it and all that stuff, and he's gone to his friends. Now, what are we boiling down to here? I forget. Oh, yeah, so I've had 5 days. This is what this is all about. I've had 5 days without having to drive Briar to work. Couple that with my new bed and my new bedroom, and I'm sleeping. Not like a normal person, but I am getting I'll get 4 hours in sleep. And I don't mean sleep like, dozing or snoring or whatever. I mean, I'll get into a comfortable position and I'll wake up with my face glued to the pillow with drool because I haven't moved in 4 hours. And that kind of burst of restorative sleep is amazing. Now, no, it's not going to cure my fibromyalgia or my arthritis, but it goes a long, long way to helping me manage that. So anyway, I have to pick Briar up at work tonight. He's gone to a friend's for a couple of days, and he's going to work from there tonight, and I'll be picking him up. And then he's back on his Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sorry, I was outside. My nose is all itchy, and my husband's not here to kiss. Because everyone knows an itchy nose means you gotta kiss a fool, and only fools fall in love. I'm rambling. So anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. And I'm going to do my best to do some filming. But the garden going in may not go on video because of the bugs. We're going to have to work in shots of, okay, plant this row. Get in the house. We'll get all the bugs off. Get all the black flies off. And then have a sweet tea and then head right back out and plant another row. So these are things that's, going to take time. We were going to rent the digger this weekend and dig out the barn floor, but we just can't do both. We can't do the rototiller and put the garden in and work on the barn. So Daddy's got a few more things he has to do in the barn before we can tear out the floors and pour the concrete anyway. So that's being put off until the end of the month, probably the first weekend in June. What else is going on? Oh, I have some chicks hatching. I have 1 turkey hatched and 4 chickens. And what I do is people ask me if you can hatch them together. Now, you can, but there's a trick to it. Turkeys take 28 days and chickens take 21 days. So I just put my turkey eggs in first, and then from the moment I put my turkey eggs in, I start collecting the chicken eggs that I am going to hatch. And then I put them in the incubator on the 7th day after collecting them. And that way they all start hatching at the same time. I only got, I think, 6 chicken eggs in this load. 4 of them have hatched already, and 1 turkey has hatched. And I have another incubator with the same setup, turkey eggs and some chicken eggs, but they aren't due to hatch for another week. So we'll see. And then on the 28th, Papa and I drive to Carrying Place, Ontario for some red bourbon turkey poults that I'm going to mix and match a new breeding flock. But I'm hoping to keep a tom out of whatever I hatch. And that way the bloodlines of Mom, Pa Kettle, Whitey, and the girls, like which the girls were Mom, Pa Kettle's daughters, will continue on in the new flock. But I'm not selling any. Last year I made the mistake of selling my first batch of turkey eggs, and after they hatched, and then my second hatch didn't go so well, and I only got a few. But that's okay, because we only eat 2 turkeys a year, right? I mean, you know, some people, this year we had 3, because Papa hunted a turkey and got one. Anyway, we also have the pool to get in order, and fruit trees to plant, and wood to split, and all this stuff's going on this weekend, so I may not have time to film until Monday, Sunday or Monday. Okay? So please be patient, and if you don't hear from me on Saturday and Sunday, it's because we're really busy, but you will hear from me on Monday. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead saying, talk to you later. Take care. God bless. And hope everyone in Canada has a great May long weekend. And everyone in the U.S. next weekend has a great Memorial Day weekend. Take care.